Hey ladies! I had some time today, so I am going to make you all a video for foundation. I'm using my brand new ring light so it makes everything nice and bright because the lighting in my apartment is awful. So I kind of want to kick myself in the butt. I started this routine and then remembered that I wanted to make a video, so I'm just going to talk about some of the things I did first. So I used my 3-in-1 cleanser. This is normal to dry. I get somewhat oily on my chin, but for the most part I'm very dry on my cheeks and my nose, so that's why I picked this one. There's also a moisturizer. I only use the nighttime one right now, and I'm waiting for the daytime one to come in the mail, so I use that. And then I actually also concealed my face already, so I had redness. I get really red through my nose area, my chin, and a couple spots on my forehead. You can kind of see that there. So I use this natural concealer. This helps take out the, kind of cover up some of my reds. We have a green concealer that does that also, but I haven't tried it yet. And then I have it under my eyes for my dark spots and circles. So now and I used my Silk. So this stuff is amazing. Obviously, I love it, so it's almost gone. This is our pore and wrinkle minimizer. I use it as a primer for my foundation. I feel like I get really great wear with it. Our foundation is waterproof and water resistant, but I just love this stuff. It's drastically decreased the size of my pores on my cheeks. Right around this area is where I feel like they're the biggest, in my chin. So now I'm gonna show you guys how I use my foundation. I'm using beige chiffon. I will probably change this color when I get into winter, because I think I tanned really well this summer, and I think this might get too dark. Although our foundations do go up or down 3 levels to match your skin. But I think I might just want to go a little darker because I've been doing swim lessons and I tanned more than I generally do. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that. And I use a full pump if I want a lot of coverage, or a half pump if I just need light coverage. This blends so well that I could also just use it on one area that I'm having problems with, but I'm going to show you guys a full face today. So what I do, and this is my foundation brush. This is a Real Techniques, and I'll show you the box that I have for that in just a minute. So I'm going to use a full pump. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put some here, here, here. And I just kind of put it on the spots that I'll need the most, and then I'm gonna start blending this in. I don't really have any rhyme or reason for where I put everything or how I start to blend it. I never did makeup before I started working with SeneGence, so I've kind of had to learn. So here we go. And I have a mirror up here, so if I look up, I have a mirror above me. I blend it down onto my neck because I don't want to not match. probably didn't need a full pump. I'm noticing there's a lot of excess. So this is for pretty thick coverage, which I generally don't need because I use the skincare, so my skin is generally in pretty good condition. But I wanted to show you guys the coverage that a full pump can get you. Some people use just one pump and other people use two. Some people use a half. Like I said, you can just go for your problem areas. Make sure that's all blended down. And I just work it in till it's kind of the consistency I like. Sometimes I'll do like a little dot and just tap it here so I can blend this more. It looks, I know on camera, like it starts out really orangey, but then it, like I said, it adjusts 3 shades up or down, so then it kind of evens itself out. So that is the foundation. I'm also going to show you guys how I like to highlight. I don't do a lot of contouring. I just haven't really perfected it the way that I like it. So I will show you how I highlight, and my secret is I use one of our eyeshadows. So this is Sandstone Shimmer Pearl. It's a really shimmery beigey color, which I love to use for my highlight. So I'm going to show you how I do that now. There is going to be a little excess on the wand, so I'll wipe a little bit of that off. I'm just going to put it right here, kind of under my eye on top of my cheekbone area, and I'm going to take it all the way back. So this doesn't need to be too precise. Now this is also budge proof, so you gotta kind of work with it quickly. That way it doesn't just dry in a line on your face, because that's not fun for anyone. And this is actually a softer brush that I use. I'll show you, I should show you my kit. This is what it told me to use for my contouring, so I used it. So there you go. You see that highlight there versus no highlight. So I'm gonna take that and finish my other side. So many things in my hands. Okay. My brush. Let me get a little more on this side. There we go. So highlighting is to accentuate the parts of your face that you want to stand out. There went my light. There we go. That was my eyeshadow dropping. So this is to accentuate the areas that you want to stand out. So like your cheekbones, and then you'd contour in here to give you a nice shape. Like I said, I haven't perfected that, so once I do, I'll show y'all how I do that. There you go, there's that highlight. Now I'm going to do the ridge of my nose. With contouring, you can make that look a little thinner. I am not going to do that, but I like to do the ridge of my nose for sure. So right down the center. And then at this time, I'd also do my Cupid's bow. I want that to have a little highlight too for when I put my lip sense on. And the last area I do is right here in the center of my forehead. Like I said, my chin gets a little oily, so I don't like to add any shine to what can already sometimes become a shiny chin. So just gonna do a little bit. Perfect. And after this, I generally set with our loose translucent powder. I really like this because you can use it, it comes like in a more concentrated tip, or you can use the full powdery effect. This is especially good with our bronzer. We have one of these that does bronzing. So this would help you get in those areas that you want to bronze instead of being dispersed. So I generally use that. I'm not going to use that today because my face has been really dry. So actually, I use a little bit on my chin. The way that you prime these, you just kind of bang them on a tabletop. Mine's primed. The powder is in here, so it doesn't let you get too much, which is nice, because a lot of people that use powders in a canister tend to overuse their powder and you just go through your product a lot quicker. So obviously with this you don't have that problem, and it just comes out right into the tip. So perfect. Alrighty, so that is how I do my face. I will show you, this is the box that my brushes came in. It is Real Techniques. On the back, it has each of the brushes and it tells you what it's for, so it's really good for beginners. And like I said, I was a beginner, so this is what I got. It has the contour brush. So this is for a quote, delicate application of highlighter or contour product above or below the cheekbones. So it also tells you where you're contouring. It has a detailer brush. This is to conceal your problem areas. So it's that little guy that I used with my concealer. It has your buffing brush. This is for loose powder. If you do use powder in a canister, or I know a lot of girls that dump this out into a canister because they like it better. I like it the way that it is so that I don't overuse, but this is for that. And last but not least, your foundation brush. And this says densely packed and a unique cut to build custom coverage of liquid foundation. So that is the guy I use. I got these from Ulta. They were, I believe, $19.99. I didn't want to invest in like a $30 foundation brush, or I know that MAC has really expensive brushes because they got me on my eye brushes when I was using their eyeshadow instead of SeneGence. So I know it can get a little expensive. These were a great deal. And then SeneGence also has brushes, which I will get a pack and review and let you all know how I like. So I hope this video helps anyone who's been on the edge thinking about foundation, or anyone that is curious how to use a liquid foundation, doesn't really know where to start. So I think it blended in pretty fantastic. All right, have a great day, ladies.